Hello everyone, I'm Kalbi. 여러분 안녕하세요. Kalbi입니다. If you're watching this video, chances are you're interested in learning the Korean language. With the popularity of Korean culture around the world, more and more people are learning the Korean language, and I'm one of them. In this video, I'm going to share my own Korean language study story with you and some tips that I hope can help your Korean language study. So get ready to hear my story and level up your Korean study skills. Let's go! I started learning the Korean language in Hong Kong in 2009 when I became interested in Korean culture after discovering K-drama and K-pop. I was drawn in by the moving stories, captivating music, and unique customs. I enrolled in Korean courses offered by the School of Professional and Continuing Education of the University of Hong Kong, Hong Kong U Space, and studied from October 2009 to August 2012, completing 3 levels: Introductory, Foundation Certificate, and Intermediate Certificate. Each level offered 1 3-hour lesson per week for 36 weeks, with a total of 108 lesson hours. I still remember the date of my first Korean lesson, which was October 10th, because the teacher started the lesson by telling us that the day before was Hangeul Day, and then told us the story of King Sejong the Great creating Hangeul, the Korean alphabet. She said that the aim of King Sejong was to create an easy-to-learn alphabet system, so told us not to worry, and then we started learning Hangeul. I really enjoyed my Korean study very much. As I continued my Korean study, I discovered that Korean culture is not just limited to K-pop and K-dramas. There are many other interesting aspects, such as food, fashion, architecture, festivals, and more. I explored different aspects of Korean culture through books, videos, TV programs, and travel to South Korea. This not only helped me get to know more about Korean culture, but also helped practice the Korean I have learned. I also learned about Korean etiquette, which shared some similarities with Chinese culture on the surface, but differed in some details. For example, while both Chinese and Koreans use bowls, chopsticks, and spoons for eating, the shapes and ways of using these utensils are a bit different. Unfortunately, I had to stop my classroom studies after August 2012 due to work commitments. However, my passion for Korean culture continued. I kept watching K-dramas, listening to K-pop, reading Korean books, and traveling to South Korea. I even bought the Yonsei University's Korean textbooks to study Korean on my own. Eventually, in October 2013, I decided to take a career break and embarked on a 6-month journey to Seoul to study Korean. And I think it's one of the best decisions I have ever made. Let's have a quick introduction of the structure of Korean language courses offered in Korea. Let's look at the Sejong University's website as an example. Korean language institutes generally offer Korean language courses from level 1, absolute beginner, to level 6, advanced. Some may offer level 7, special advanced course. Usually the class time is 4 hours per day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. from Mondays to Fridays, totaling 200 hours per level. So usually you need to take about 10 weeks to complete a level. The semester break is usually about 2 weeks, and with 4 semesters a year, you can complete 4 levels in a year. However, Sejong Language Institute (SLI) of the Sejong University offers a different class schedule. Let's look at the SLI website for detail. Although the total class hours per level is still 200 hours, classes run slightly over 4 hours per day from 9 a.m. to 2:50 p.m. with 1 hour lunch break from Mondays to Fridays, so it takes about 8 weeks to complete one level. The semester break is also much shorter, usually 3 to 4 days, and with 6 semesters in a year, you can complete 6 levels in a year much more quickly than at other language institutes. However, you need to be prepared for a much more intensive learning experience. I chose the SLI because I could complete more levels within a given time and the university has a good reputation. I also like the popular Korean drama Song Yun-gwan Scandal, so wanted to study at Song Yun-gwan like the student scholars in the drama. Like other language institutes, students not applying for level 1 of the SLI need to take a placement test, which includes speaking and writing parts to determine the level to be admitted. I took the placement test and was placed into level 4. However, the first 2 weeks were very challenging, and I really had a very hard time catching up because the curriculum was much more advanced than the one I previously studied, and I also found the speaking practice very difficult. So every day after finishing the homework, I revised what had been learned and practiced the speaking exercises done during classes. Also, I spoke Korean with all Koreans I met during the day, both inside and outside school. Luckily, starting from the third week, I was able to keep up much better. Although the learning experience was very intensive, I really enjoyed my Korean study at the SLI very much. I could focus on my Korean study without worrying about work commitments. Also, the engaging class activities, field trips, and interactions with my international classmates in Korean made each day exciting and interesting. In between studies, I explored different parts of Seoul and tasted diverse Korean dishes. I also attended Korean festivals like the Jinhae Cherry Blossom Festival and visited the Cheonju Hanok village. In April 2014, I completed levels 4, 5, and 6 in 6 months at the SLI and graduated from the SLI Korean language program. These are photos of me in the SLI graduation gown. However, I believe my Korean language study journey has not ended, and it should be a lifelong process. I still immerse myself in Korean culture through K-dramas, K-pop, Korean books, and travel. I also watch Korean news online, a habit I developed during my time in Seoul. That's my Korean language study story. Drawing from my experience, I have some tips to help your Korean language study. Tip number 1. Practice, practice, practice. Language learning requires lots of practice consistently, even if it's just for 15 minutes each day, in order to retain what you have learned and improve your skills. And Korean language is no exception. Regular practice in reading, listening, speaking, and writing is key. Immerse yourself in Korean language and culture, even if you can't physically be in Korea. You can leverage online resources like TV programs, news programs, podcasts, language exchange apps, language websites, and YouTube channels to facilitate your learning process. A lot of online resources are free. I particularly recommend King Sejong Institute Foundation's website and YouTube channel, which have a lot of useful free resources helpful to Korean language study. I have included the website and YouTube channel addresses in the description below. Tip number 2. Learn the Korean alphabet, Hangeul, without relying on romanization. Romanization means representing sounds of Hangeul by English letters. You can see it in a lot of Korean language books and videos. However, English sounds do not accurately represent Korean sounds, so you might not learn the pronunciation of Hangeul correctly if you rely on romanization. Also, romanization can sometimes be confusing since there are different romanization systems. For example, the word Hangeul can be written in these three ways. Try to learn Hangeul based on the corresponding shapes of the mouth and throat and the positions of the tongue. I found it easier to memorize the corresponding sounds and pronounce the Hangeul correctly. Also, once you are familiar with the Hangeul's pronunciation, you can pronounce all Korean words you come across even though you may not know the meaning. There are many Korean words borrowed from other languages, like English, so this can help you pick up the Korean vocabulary. For example, for this Korean word, its pronunciation is banana. Can you guess what it means? It's banana. So try to familiarize with the Hangeul pronunciation. Tip number 3. Stay positive. Don't be afraid to speak or write, even if you might make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. The more you practice, the more you will improve. Also, language learning can be frustrating and may take longer than you expect. However, a positive attitude and persistence can go a long way. Remember, language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. That's it. I hope my Korean language study story inspires you and the tips I shared help you in your Korean language learning journey. Remember to share your story in the comments below. Good luck with your Korean language study. Thanks for watching and until next video.